But she's talking about the 70s era. There's still like, you know, although I don't know why they in Marvel now have made Hydra. I mean, it's stupid because they don't want to. So over PC stuff to me is like we're like, oh, we're not gonna recreate the swastika because it's like and make it Hydra is stupid to me, but that's a separate subject. Anyway, but I think it's mostly like I said because they were there. A comic based in World War II against the Germans, so that's fine to get to do that. Sorry.
I know you're going to questions later, but this is relevant now. We're talking about codes that are limiting what can be presented in comics. Nonetheless, none of these codes seem to limit the hypersexualization of women in these comics, because whatever they were restricting, they weren't restricting women from falling out of their clothes.
No, of course not, because they were written by men.
Not really that.
There's a very
The things I've worked on have had like horrible stereotypes of Asians, for instance. The dialogue is written out with those LR replacements and things like that. And that was okay with the code.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about classic restoration, and the best example I think of what you're talking about, I'm gonna go to Wally Wood and Power Girl. When she was Power Girl's an alternate reality at the time, alternate reality version of Supergirl, and Wally Wood, who was known by the way for her extreme bust, and because instead of a Supergirl symbol, she literally just has a hole where you can see her cleavage. And he famously, like the reason her bosom became so large is because he just kept drawing it larger until someone, he wanted to see how long it would go until someone said something in relation to when you could and couldn't print, and so it became enormous. And to this day, like her defining characteristic, she finally has a full costume, you know, in 2016.
I missed the boob one.
Has been that like, oh, she's kind of like Superman and also has enormous breasts. Like that's her character trait. So and yeah, that happened right on through. Because these rules are written by men. So well, my book sexualized men plenty. Trust me.
Well, you know, I'm really glad that we're there with that, because our next topic